Well, it's never a bad thing to be reminded about Istanbul, is it? So we begin our latest Champions League campaign against some old friends.
Old friend!
As much as many other Liverpool fans were kicking off about being given the fucking group of death, there was one name I think every Liverpool fan focused on most, and that was Milan. For those of us lucky enough to have been old enough back then to watch Istanbul, which is now a mind-boggling 16 years ago now, it will definitely go down as one of, if not the greatest nights in all of our lives, and it really is a pleasant feeling to be playing our opponents from that night again. Obviously, we also can't forget that they beat us in 2007 in that Champions League final as well, in essence giving it a feel like it being 1-1 between us and them, despite the fact that we're not playing them in the final this time around, but it's nonetheless pleasantly nostalgic to be finally playing them once again.
Gosh, Gus. Is that a Woody? Heck yeah.
I have to say on another side note as well, by the way, it does feel good to be in the Champions League consistently again now. We had a howler of a season last year and it wasn't guaranteed that we would get it done. Finishing third is honestly, it does feel good to be Champions League regulars again. I can't understate this. Clubs like Liverpool and Man United should be, but the Premier League, it's unforgiving. It won't allow guarantees of any kind. And as exciting as that is, it leaves us no doubt that we are playing in the best league in the world. But I think we should also acknowledge that when we are doing something like reaching the Champions League consistently, it is a good feeling. And although again, clubs like Liverpool should do it consistently, I don't think it will last forever. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it will while Klopp's in charge, and if we get the next manager right, it will certainly be in the mix most of the time. But unlike for the likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich in Spain and Germany respectively, it's not a given for us here in England, no matter who you are.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow.
Oh, Zazu, do lighten up.
So to start, we're obviously going to be without Harvey Elliott for this game after his absolute fucking horror injury against Leeds on Sunday. But it was a nice touch, by the way, that he gave that young Leeds player who's in hospital with him, who had that broken wrist, he gave him his shirt and his boot. Although I think it's rather odd he gave him one boot, but then again, maybe the one on his left foot wasn't coming off anytime soon unless he was unconscious or something, because, well, if they did... Anyway, not having Harvey in the team means it's unlikely Klopp will play any youth for this game. We'll probably field our strongest possible 11, and I really hope he does, because having watched a couple of Milan's games for my research for this game, I have to say, they look fucking good. Their passing is crisp, their play is fast, they're dynamic. The only thing they seem to lack is power, which isn't really surprising for an Italian team, to be honest, as their game is based more on, tactics and organisation, rather than the kind of blood, guts and passion that you get in England, like with the likes of Leeds and so on. But that doesn't make them a pushover. Make no mistake, I think we're going to need our fucking A-game to beat these. They really are an example of how Italian football is starting to grow again. Although this time around, I hope they do it a little more honestly than they did 10-15 years ago.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
But in all seriousness, this is going to be a serious test for Liverpool. Italian football is on the rise again, make no mistake. Juventus building their own stadium meant they had a financial advantage over most of Italy, as most Italian clubs don't actually own their own stadiums, believe it or not. They lease them, which means their matchday revenues are shockingly poor, and it's led to them falling behind the likes of the Spanish and English sides, and even German clubs to a degree. Juventus being the first to change this meant they've had such a clear advantage that they've dominated Italian football for the last decade, and the others have been forced to up their game recently. They're all planning new stadiums of their own while taking financial risks in the short term to buy better players to compete and challenge against Juventus, and it's finally started to catch up. Now the other big Italian clubs like Milan are starting to play some serious football again as a result. But I'm sure Klopp and the lads will take this seriously, and home advantage should see us through, but I still think this is going to be a fucking great game, but a difficult one as well. So for my starting 11 predictions, I'm going to go for Alisson in goal, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk and Robbo at the back. In midfield, Thiago, Fabinho and Henderson. And up front, Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino and Mo Salah. Now the reason I'm going for that back line is Klopp's been pretty consistent with it so far. He keeps picking it, which should be annoying the piss out of Gomez and Konate for the record, but what can you do? And it is working so far. Fabinho is another guarantee in midfield due to his protection of the back four, and we are doing well for clean sheets at the minute, so we can't take that lightly. He needs to be in there at the minute. Him in the back four, they're doing the job. I'd like to see him rotate a bit more at the back, but it's working, so whatever. Thiago did well in the last game, so when he came on, so I can see him starting this time, and Henderson simply has to start for the team's first Champions League game of the season. He just has to for me. And I'm having Bobby up front instead of Jota, seeing as he was rested against Leeds. I can't see him not playing in the Champions League either, no matter how good Jota is doing.
That's not fair!
I'm going for a 2-1 Liverpool win as well, which I think we're going to have to work fucking hard for, because I do think this is going to be a difficult game where we're really going to be put to the test. Milan, honestly, if you have 5 minutes, watch some of their previous games, like what they've been playing recently this season. They do look the real deal. They really are a fast-paced team, which is surprising for an Italian team. But trust me, they do play some fucking good football at a very high-paced tempo. So this really is going to be a test. But I'd love to know what you guys think below. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm a new channel at this point, so any and all traffic and interactions are very much appreciated. If you're already subscribed, thanks again for the support. It does mean the world to me. I do apologise if this video isn't as in-depth as the last few I've done, but between work and the time between games, I really am pushed for time to get these videos out at the minute, and I'm getting enough sleep for work too. But I hope you enjoyed them anyway, and hopefully we'll have plenty to talk about after the game tomorrow. Take care, lads and lasses. I'll see you after the game tomorrow. Ta-ra.